Happy Wednesday evening. Everyone, I'm Adam with Record Crate. It's Wednesday evening. I just got here. I don't have anything scheduled. No sales, nothing. So I thought I'd just go live to hang out and talk. Yeah. Maybe invite some people to come hang out with me. Let's see. I gotta sneak over to YouTube and make it happen. There I go. I'm at 887. My numbers go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. I've been at 800s for a long time, which is okay. Which is totally okay. Let's see if I can get a link here. Hey, Time Fragment, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. There we go. How are things with you? It's gotten cold here, Time Fragment. But it's gotten cold where you are. Yeah, you heard any cool music lately? Let's see, here's a link. If you'd like to come on and hang out. What are you hanging out? What are you hanging out? Oh, my stars. Well, there's Chef Sketty. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. So I put that in there. How do I pin it? I see people. Ah, I pinned it, folks. I pinned the link. I pinned a link. So come hang out with me if you like. Chef, did you make through the what was it? The latest storm? I forgot her name. I hope you're doing well from that. I heard, I don't know if it's true that the color wouldn't sound better. Is that true, Time Fragment? I don't know if it is or not, but that's just what I hear. I'm just focusing on record RSD Black Friday. That I don't know what else to focus on, and plus I'm having the clearance sale. Wait a minute, I pinned the wrong thing. Plus I'm having the clearance sale, and yeah, that's what I've been focusing on. Woohoo! Hey Tony, how are you? Tony, I enjoyed your video. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying all the cool prizes you won. And you can always pass it on if it's something you can't use. You can pass it on to somebody else. Yeah. Tony, you can hit that button at the top. You can come and join us. Mom, you can come and brag about records if you like. I don't think it affects it. It's just more where it's pressed and how it's handled. Maybe with the exception of liquid filled and picture disc. Yeah. Great. And you, brother, muchly appreciated. Very cool. I have to get some of my toys out someday, Tony, and show you. I don't even know where they are. I mean, I don't have many, but my red lines are packed away. Doing good, Adam. Doing you. I'm okay. Making it happen. Getting ready for RSD Black Friday. Doing my annual clearance sale, which happens in November. Good way to raise some money for the RSD Black Friday orders. I got another order today, so that's 2 orders so far, and yeah, and so I'm expecting another order tomorrow, which is cool. I'll be glad to, Tony. I mean, it's just red lines, nothing fancy. It's just red lines that were played by children and adults, and I don't care if they're beautiful or not. I do like that little. Looks kind of like an El Camino. Is it a Dorian? Anyway, put 2 surfboards in the back. I ordered some surfboards online where someone had 3D printed them. But anyway, I like that stuff. I really do. Uh, hello, meteors. Wonderful, Tim. Time. How did you first hear that? Oh yeah. Any update on the Carmen Gia, uh, Chef Sketty? Yeah. There was some type of time, Tony, you could probably help me, in the 2000s where Hot Wheels made some replicas, reproductions of the red lines, and I ended up getting a few of the Dorias for that. Yeah. And then there's this cat down in Jacksonville who likes Hot Wheels. I don't know anybody up here. I'm sure there's tons of people up here that like Hot Wheels. I just don't know anybody. Yeah. I was going to invite some more people to come in. Someone's going to make a drink before they come in. Oh, I need to share this before I can do it. It's the first school and super rare band camp. Yeah, but when you go to band camp, where do you know to go? You know, 14 days. Go back to StreamYard. I'm going to invite. Of course, you guys got an invitation already. And then I'm going to go over to text. And I'm going to text. I'm going to text it to this cat. And then I can get the link on my phone. And then I can text it to other people. Yeah. Wow, very cool. Tony, I think your brother, not your brother, but your son, I think your son likes to do things with you. There we go. So I was in Wake Forest. So yesterday was very cold and it was rainy. Hello, Jocelyn. I don't know where Nico is now. She likes to run. Jocelyn came to my whatnot last night, so it was good to see you there. It was fun. I appreciate that. Yeah. And of course, Jocelyn, let me know when you like for me to send your stuff. Tomorrow's a big shipping day for me. My mail carrier will not be happy. I'll take that back. My mail carrier will have a lot of stuff to carry. But that's totally cool. I'm just texting a few people. I'm going live. I'm live. I'm already live. Come join in. Here's the link. There we go. Nico. It's almost like sometimes I feel like Nico doesn't eat or use the bathroom when I'm not here. But when I come here, she eats and drinks and uses the bathroom. Do you ever notice that with your cats, Sean? I guess there's always someone around your house when your cats are. Your cats are probably never alone.
Yeah, no, my cats are usually only alone when we're on vacation. But what was the question?
Sometimes I feel like when I'm not here, Nico doesn't eat and drink and use the bathroom. I kind of feel like
Weird.
when I come here, she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go eat now." I'm gonna drink now. Use the
Hmm.
bathroom.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
my cats are both a couple of fat asses, and we can't keep food in their bowl at all.
Well, there you go. Hey, corner cross Cobalt. There's a link that pin. You're welcome coming out with us. Hop up here on screen with us. You by house, of course. Carolina brother. I don't know that cat. You both put my collection to shame. Time, it's not about that. It's all about listening to music.
That's right.
At least for me, it is. I mean, hey, I
Yeah.
can brag about my whipped cream and other light. I guess you can I like that, but yeah. Sean, what's been happening to you? Oh my gosh, yesterday was horrible, Sean. All that rain and all that cold
Yeah.
made today
Yeah.
feel like we're having a heat wave.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'll take this over hell's front porch in the middle of July. So that's one nice thing about living in the South. You still get your seasons down here. But
Sometimes we get 4 seasons in one day in North Carolina.
yeah, for real. You don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. Um, but yeah, no, things are going pretty good here. We're just getting ready to go on vacation next week. Going back across the country out to Arizona for Thanksgiving, so that'll be nice.
Arizona.
Yeah, 80 degrees. We're gonna go see the Grand Canyon. It's gonna be cold up at the Grand Canyon, but down where my family lives in Arizona, it'll
Yeah,
probably be 80, 85 every day. So.
there you go. Hey, Chris, there's a link pinned at the top. Come hang out with us. At least I hope it's pinned up there. Yeah, just decided to go live. I haven't been in Raleigh long, and I don't have a sales schedule, don't have a whatnot schedule, so I figured out let's go live and talk to some people.
um, so
Are
Adam,
you
I know
driving?
what?
I'm sorry. Are you driving to Arizona?
No, we're flying. I'm taking all four kids to Arizona. I can't wait to see how this goes. But luckily, at least we're flying nonstop from here to Phoenix, so we don't have to get off the plane and change planes or anything. We just get on the plane in Raleigh, get off in Phoenix, and rent a car. So
Wow,
yeah,
that sounds like
but
fun.
yeah, it'll be all right. Um, so I know I mentioned to you last time I saw you, but I got a nice stack of records from a neighbor that just put something out on Facebook and in our neighborhood group and said, "Hey, I got records on my front porch. Come and help yourself to whatever you want, or all of them. I just want them gone." And so I've been listening to that stack that I decided to keep out of that pile, and I got to tell you, man. So, as long as I've been hunting for records, I always pass over Guess Who albums because the only thing I really ever knew from the Guess Who was American Woman, like a lot of people, I think. But man, there were 3 Guess Who records in there in that stack that I decided to keep and hang on
Sounds good,
to.
Chris.
And I've been listening to them. I cannot believe what a great band they were.
Isn't it the truth? Hey, handicapped traveler, grab that link and come hang out with us. We're just hanging out, talking, no agenda. Yeah, I like Guess Who. I don't want to hear American Woman again.
Yeah, if I ever hear that song again, it'll probably be too soon. But
Yeah, but yeah.
they had a lot of other great songs, though, man. The albums I've got are "Save the Land," "American Woman," and the one right before "American Woman" whose name is escaping me right now. But yeah, I've enjoyed all 3 of them like thoroughly. I mean, I couldn't believe what a great band they were.
Some of those records were UK pressings.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice that?
No, not on these. These were just U.S. RCA pressings, and these ones that I got in the stack, 2 of them were pressed in Indianapolis, and one of them was pressed in Rockaway. So,
Oh, favorite track from Cobalt. No Sugar Tonight. I like
Good
you, Mother Nature. That is taking over. Absolutely. Yeah. Jocelyn, I like to hear I want to hear about what you like to listen to, Jocelyn. I you got my interest. Um yeah.
I also got to say I'm a bit enamored with the new Megan Trainor album that just came out a couple of weeks ago. It I respect very deeply her trying to constantly keep the 60s alive and that whole kind of girl group sound that she's got going on. And man, the new record is really, really good. I really enjoyed that. So
Very cool. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, hopefully you can swing by before you go out of town.
yeah, I'll probably come by on Friday and come by the shop and say hey.
That'd be cool. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
not
have
gonna
anything
make
held for you or not.
no.
Probably
What's
not.
that?
I don't think I have anything held for you.
Yeah, you got two things from your last record sale.
You know, I got two things that I got held for. Very cool. Yeah. Um. Well, that's cool. That's a good record. I got some demos in that I've been listening to. That's been pretty cool. One of them is Super Orgasm or Super Organism. Of course, I can't find the case. The CD's in the machine. I wish I could play it for everybody. I don't even know when the record comes out. It may have already been out. But Chris, you might know Super Organism. Oh, yeah. I've been listening to that. Have you listened to the Car record?
The car?
Yeah. Um.
Oh, from Arctic Monkeys?
Yeah.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I've spun that about 4 or 5 times since I got it. Oh, it's fantastic. Let me preface that, right? It's fantastic if you liked the previous record, the Tranquility Hotel and Casino.
Yeah.
If you liked that, you will absolutely love the new record.
Oh, cool.
It's that same kind of, like I don't know, I kind of liken it to like apocalyptic loungy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's totally different sound than their earlier stuff, but I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Well, good. Hold on a second. Looks like someone named Dan's trying to join us. Hey, Dan, if you can hear me, just turn on your camera, even if you turn it off later, so I can see who you are. Uh, yeah. Um. Oh, here it is. Did you like Orgasmic? I mean, did you like AM? Did you like Arctic Monkeys AM?
AM? Oh, I have. Yeah, I mean, I've got all the Arctic Monkeys records. I love AM.
Very cool. So
I think. Oh, go ahead.
This is Super Organism.
There's a big difference between superorganism and superorgasm, Adam.
Absolutely. This is worldwide pop. I've been listening to this. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Adam, do you like Arctic Monkeys?
Some of their stuff I like. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, artist. Good to see you.
Yeah, I like their old stuff. I like their new stuff. I don't think they've ever put out a record that I didn't enjoy. I think 505, if I were to make a list of like, my 100 greatest songs ever by anybody, I think 505 would find a place on that list somewhere.
There's a Dan. Let's see which Dan it is.
Traveler.
Oh, hey, Dan. How are you, sir?
Oh, hanging in there.
Good. Good to see you. Yeah. I thought I'd gone to heaven because I saw that bright light. Hey, TARDIS,
Oh,
there's a
that-
link if you'd like to join us at the top of the page.
Let's see. How do I do that? I'm not used to doing this, so I don't even know how to do it.
Hey, you're up here with us. That's a big do. That's for sure. And then I got the new record by Bear. Is it Grizzly Bear?
Grizzly Bear, yeah.
Yeah, I think Panda Bear. Panda Bear.
Oh, Panda Bear. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't
I like
listened to
Panda
it yet.
Bear.
Hey, Average Joe, there's a link at the top. Come join us if you like. The numbers are going like 8-2-8-2-8-2. Hey, I think I got Dan back.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not used to doing this, so
It's okay. The more you do it, the better you get used. Yeah. Sean, when are you back with another one of your shows? I want to get back and listen.
I'm actually doing one Saturday night with another record shop owner. So yeah, Saturday night, 8:00. So if you can't catch it live, you can catch it on the replay. But yeah, we're gonna do it.
Okay. Joe says he's got jazz blaring now.
Nice. I'll be doing that a little later.
Let's see. TARDIS picked up a white label Elvis Costello Armed Forces today. Don't
Wow.
think it's ever been played.
Oh, with the 7-inch. You know, that is one of those Elvis Costello albums. Of all of his early records, you know, late 70s, early 80s, that seems to be the one that I see the least, you know, in terms of the used bins. I actually don't have a copy, and it bugs me every day because Oliver's Army is my favorite Elvis Costello song ever. And so I really need to find a decent original of that.
Very cool. That's so like radio, radio. I like that song.
That was the song that got him banned from Saturday Night Live. And interestingly, when I saw Weird Al in Raleigh a couple of weeks ago, when they did the encore, that was the first song in the encore. Was they did a cover of Radio Radio.
I like early Elvis, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my dad loved Elvis Costello, so I used to spin his Elvis Costello records. But
well, congratulations, TARDIS. That is awesome. Every time I think about Elvis Costello, I can't help but think of Joe Jackson. And I had a buyback over the weekend that had 2 Joe Jackson records, and I got to compare them against mine. Yeah, I did not realize there was an Al movie. Very cool.
Yeah, you can go to the Roku channel and stream it. It's got Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al and Evan Rachel Wood's in it, and it's really good. You should watch it, Adam. It's great.
So it is good.
Yes, it's very good.
I've seen the ads on our Roku, but we haven't watched the movie yet.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's really great. Daniel Radcliffe did awesome. No, you don't need a device to do it. You can stream it on, I think it's the RokuChannel.com. And then there's also, there's various other ways to stream it. So you don't actually have to have a physical Roku box to stream it. But
I
highly recommend it. Daniel Radcliffe actually took accordion lessons purely for this role. Like he really got into the role. I was really surprised because, you know, when I first heard that it was coming out, I was like, Daniel Radcliffe, that's kind of an odd person to portray Weird Al, but man, he nailed it.
That's totally cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, Joe. So TARDIS, did you pick that up from Jay over at Raven? Is that where you got that record? Yeah. No, because Jay's not open today. Jay's open less than I'm open. Raven Records, which is in, I'm probably wrong, Knoxville.
Okay.
I can't remember. Yeah.
But man, that Weird Al show was great because all he did was play originals. I mean, those shows on this tour are purely for the fans. And he was point blank about that when he got on stage. He said, "We have tried to make this as clear to everybody as we possibly can that what we're playing here is originals. We're not playing a lot of the parodies that It's like we're playing a lot of the songs that you probably skip over, and we're going to sit here, we're going to play, and we're going to have a good time, and I hope you all enjoy it." And I really respect when artists do that. And yeah, I mean, that show was 100% for the fans. During the encore, after they did Radio, they did do a medley of the parodies. They did Smells Like Nirvana and Word Crimes and a couple of others. And so it was just like 4 or 5 of the parodies kind of squashed into a medley. But other than that, it was all originals. He did Albuquerque and Christmas at Ground Zero. And When I Was Your Age, which he hadn't played in like 30 years. I mean, he was digging deep. Basically, what he had done on the tour was he took about 40 songs and he just randomly picks a set list every night. So every show's got a unique set list. And I love what they're doing on this tour. And plus, he's got the same 4 guys that he's played with ever since his first album. So those guys have all been playing together for 40 years, and they sound like it, man. The band was tight. They were funny. They were, I couldn't have been happier with that show. It was wonderful.
Very cool. Joe saw him at the before the pandemic at Coca. That's really cool.
That's awesome, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the Coca Booth show, but
oh, you got it at Lost and Found. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking, when I go to Arizona, I'm looking forward to hitting a couple of the record shops in Tucson, because I've
Very
never
cool.
gone. Yeah.
Hey, Truth, turn on your camera. I see you're backstage. Turn on your camera. There you go.
So, Dan, where are you located?
Madison, Ohio.
Oh, Madison, Ohio. Okay.
It's up off of Lake Erie.
Yep. Yeah, I know where Madison is. Nice.
Where it's nice, cold, and icy and snowy right now.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Very cool.
Yeah, you got to be a hardy soul to live up there.
Yeah. And when we first moved up here, we were like, why did we do this? Well, did it because I got a job up here, but
yeah.
Now that we're retired, we're not moving, so
yeah. I mean, I lived in New England for about 11 years. I lived in Providence, Rhode Island for most of that time, and it gets pretty cold and snowy up there and everything. But
yeah,
it's funny when I mean, it's nothing like where you live, and Buffalo and Erie and all those places. But it was funny because when I left Rhode Island and I came down to North Carolina, I realized over the years that living in the South has definitely made me soft. I walk outside and it's 40 degrees and I'm like, man, it is cold. Meanwhile, when I lived in Rhode Island, I would have been out there in a t-shirt, So, yeah, living in the South makes you soft when you escape the cold.
Yeah, this actually was when I still lived down in the Pittsburgh area, but it gets cold there too.
Oh yeah, certainly.
And it was January, and I had to go to a meeting in Fort Myers, Florida, and it was 50 degrees, and this fella from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and myself were there, and we're like walking around without coats. Everybody's like, "Oh, here, I'll loan you my jacket," and we're like, "No, we don't need a jacket." They're like, "It's cold." We're like, "You all don't know what cold is."
That's right. Yeah, I've got a buddy that's lived in North Dakota for, I don't know, 25 years now or longer. And yeah, he loves to make fun of people that complain it's cold. He's like, yeah, why don't you try living where I live?
There you go. Yeah. Well, that is so cool, Dan. So you get to see some beautiful snow, and I'm happy for you. Absolutely. Yeah. The snow I like to see is on the internet. Joe
Well,
lived in Scranton for 16 years.
wow.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about when it snows here, because like Dan, here in the Raleigh area, it does snow about once or twice every winter. It'll snow, and it snows about an inch and a half, 2 inches. The town shuts down because nobody has any idea what to do, and then it melts in a day, and it's all gone, and everything's back to normal. So it's like it snows just enough to be pretty. It doesn't hang around all winter and become dirty and nasty on the side of the road with big snow banks and everything. So we get a little taste of snow, but it's gone in a day and all that. So.
Yeah. Well, y'all usually make the news up here, and we kind of laugh at y'all.
Yeah,
We're like,
making
they
fun
got
of
2
us.
inches and shut down. We're like, 2 inches is nothing.
Adam, I know. Yeah, exactly, Tardis. Yeah, that's and Adam, I know this was before my time in Raleigh, but didn't Raleigh get something like a foot of snow in the early 2000s? Does that ring a bell to you at all?
We got 18 inches.
Was it okay? That must have been what I was thinking of. Yeah. Okay. So a foot and a half. Boy, how did that go?
Oh, it was wonderful. People stayed home.
Yeah.
Joe, was it 18 inches? Was it 14 inches? I remember.
All I know is it was before my time.
Stepping in it. We also had that. You may have heard of this, Sean. One day, one afternoon, it started very fine snow, very fine snow. Oh, you thought it was more like 20 inches. Okay, very cool. We
When
had a
was
buttload of snow. It started just doing that. Then all of a sudden, I mean, it was cold. It was cold before the snow started falling, but it was just flurries, and
just started piling up?
no, it wasn't even that. But everything was cold. Everything was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
When it was announced, schools are dismissed. Everybody goes home from work, and in the town, all the cars on the streets and the roads paralyzed.
Oh man,
It's like
yeah.
all of a sudden we had a parking lot and nobody could move, and then the roads started getting slick. So, but when you looked out there, you looked out in the yard, you looked at the roads, you're like, you barely see anything. It looked like a frost on a cold morning, and there were some children that spent the night at school, and there were some children that didn't get home to like 9, 10, 11, 12 midnight. It made the national news. They were broadcasting live.
Do you remember roughly what year that was?
It was after maybe 2007.
Okay, all right. So it wasn't too long before I moved here because I moved here in 2011.
But
So
it was crazy.
yeah,
It was
I bet.
crazy. I guess Joe was gone then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so one of my personal favorite stories, one of the things that they love to recount in New England, especially in Boston and Providence and places like that, is the blizzard of 1978. I believe that blizzard dropped several feet of snow. I want to say possibly 3 to 4 feet. I mean, it was obscene. And there was a lady that we knew when we lived in Providence, and she was pregnant and went into labor during that blizzard. And she and her husband got in a car and tried to drive down the interstate into Providence. They were trying to get to Miriam Hospital in Providence. And she said that they finally got stuck. And they got out of the car, and she's pregnant in labor, walking through God knows how much snow. And she said that the closest thing they had was a fire station. So they went into a fire station. None of these guys had any idea what to do. So they couldn't get a doctor down because nobody could drive. And so one of the guys ended up grabbing a snowmobile that they had at the fire station, and they went and they grabbed a doctor and brought him into the fire station on a snowmobile.
Wow.
And the doctor ended up delivering that baby right there in the fire station because there was no way in hell she was getting to a hospital.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah. So
And
when it snows and when it ices, I just want to stay put. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to fall. I don't want to have an accident. I'm okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. But hey, I'm happy for the children.
Oh yeah.
Happy
that would have been a great time to be a kid.
20 inches. I think people were digging. Joe, I just looked it up, and it did say 20 inches, and maybe there was 20.
Oh yeah, that's snow fort territory there. If you got 20 inches of snow on the ground, you're building snow forts. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's even a lot. When we get that much, things shut down up here too. So,
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
bet.
so we
Yeah,
know we're used to it though. So
Yeah. Well, I know in Rhode Island, usually they wouldn't cancel school unless the school buses couldn't safely make it out. And usually that line in the sand for the school buses was about 9 to 11 inches. Around 9 inches, that's when they would start saying, okay, we're going to cancel school. But anything less than that, no.
So we don't get very
that's
much
about right.
snow. I'm sorry, Dan.
I just was saying that's about right.
We don't get very much snow, and we don't get it frequent. We don't have very many plows. Most people don't have shovels.
Yeah.
But we get
I'd
ice.
say up here schools close more because of cold than actual snow.
Okay.
Because there's times like with the wind chill, it'll be 16, 17 below zero.
Oh yeah, especially where you live, Dan.
They don't want the kids out.
Oh yeah, especially if you get some good wind in off the lake and stuff. Oh yeah.
So rarely do we get a snow that's just like powdery snow. Most snow that we get is very heavy and wet, and a lot of it has sleet. A lot of it have rain. A lot of times our storms start with rain, or start with freezing rain, or start with sleet, and it just lays down ice, and then the snow comes on top of it. So if someone lived in, let's say, upstate New York, and they moved to Raleigh, and then they have a snowstorm, and they get out there, they're like, oh, it's nothing like driving in upstate New York.
Oh, I can vouch for that. Yeah, I mean, in Rhode Island, I used to hate it when we would get that heavy wet stuff because you had to go out and shovel it, and man, that was a workout and a half.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would go out there for an hour, hour and a half shoveling that stuff, and man, I was ready for a nap.
Yeah, and a snowblower wouldn't do anything down here.
No.
Joe said he had some friends in Alaska who couldn't believe that snow ever closed schools. They said if we didn't go to school when it snowed, they would never have gone to school.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska's a whole other place. There used to be this philosopher named Frederick Turner, and around the turn of the century, Frederick Turner had a theory about the frontier. he sort of said that the frontier was kind of like a safety valve for civilization, right? It gave all the nuts and malcontents a place to go to keep from going insane, right? And if you look at the history of the United States, that's kind of how it happened, right? When all the crackpots and troublemakers in Europe couldn't deal with the way things were, they came over here and formed what eventually ended up being the 13 colonies. And then, when people couldn't deal with that, they moved west into Appalachia. And then when people couldn't deal with that, they kept going further and further and further west, which is why a lot of nuts ended up in California. But I digress. The point of me saying that is that I think Alaska is really the last place where you can just go and completely lose yourself. Like, I mean, if you just cannot deal with society, you just cannot deal with the way things are, and you just need to live life on your own terms and be on, have your own land and do your thing. Alaska is one of the few places left where you can go and really do that.
I think it's neat. Some of the people that live in the West, they live in a vehicle, and they just move where the comfort level is. So they go,
Yeah,
New Mexico, Montana, and they just go where it's comfortable year round. Yeah. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the West too? A lot of places like Wyoming and most of Nevada, places like that, is that it looks like desert, but it's high desert. And man, does it get cold and snowy and everything else, because even though it's like totally flat and you can just see and see and see for miles and miles and miles, you're still, it's like high plateau. You're still at like 5,000-6,000 feet above sea level, even though it's totally flat. And yeah.
Tardis says, I remember snow days when I was a kid. I used to climb up the tallest hill in town and ride my sled all the way down. I love that sled. I call it Rosebud, just in case anyone asks.
Rosebud. I like
Rosebud.
it.
Jenny from, help me, Tardis. What's Jenny's channel name?
Jenny D, My World.
Say what?
Which Jenny are you talking about? The one up in Wisconsin?
No, the Jenny that she comes on some of the cells. She does a lot of record videos. B-Sides. B-Sides is her channel. She did a video one time of snowing where she lives. Oh my gosh, she lives in the most beautiful area. Yeah. Now I don't mind watching the Waltons homecoming, because there's some pretty snow on there.
Yeah.
Mom got what Tardis says, Rosebud. Oh boy. Oh
yeah,
my.
it's gonna be interesting when we go to the Grand Canyon next week, because the Grand Canyon is another one of those places that's high plateau. So it gets really freaking cold up there in the Grand Canyon, even though it's nice and flat. But you're, like I said, you're over 5,000 feet above sea level up there, so it's just high plateau. So hopefully we don't hit any snow or anything up there. But yeah, if we do, we do. I'll tell you what, the Grand Canyon is one of those places. I don't care how many times you see it on TV, how many times you see pictures of it. You just cannot grasp the enormity of it until it's right there in front of you. I mean, at its widest point, the Grand Canyon is 17 miles wide. It's unbelievable. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Yeah, very cool. I recall the Brady Bunch show where they went camping in the Grand Canyon.
I don't think I've ever seen that episode.
Yeah, that was funny. But Mom, you have crazy weather, don't you, Mom? Does it get cold at nighttime and warm in the daytime where you are? I mean, it gets cooler here, but we don't have those extremes like I think Mom does. Yeah, but anyway, everybody lives in a different place, different climates. Hey, baby girl. Jocelyn asked about you.
Nico, come say hi. I can't
Nico,
give you
say
a
hi.
treat, but I want to see you.
Nico, say hi. She's at the door.
Nico.
She's at the door.
Nico.
She loves sitting at the door. Hey, I should
Yeah.
put a camera over there so when I go live, people can watch her at the door.
There you go. The
There
Nico
we go.
cam.
Yeah, absolutely. Nico Cam. I like the people who put a camera on their animal, like you see the cats. Put a GoPro on the cat, and the cat travels their daytime ritual and comes back. Yeah.
Speaking of Nico.
Are you gonna try to buy one of those reproduction bananas and put on there?
Nope. Wouldn't dream of it.
It does look good when it has a banana on it. That's for sure. We sometimes get snow and wind, and sometimes extreme shade, but not anything crazy. High Desert, Mojave 3 Desert. People have lived here for many years with no issues. So, like, what was your high today, Mom, and what's going to be your low tonight? What's going to be your overnight low? Yeah. And the people who live in Canada, brutal. Yeah. Anyway, Dan, are you going away next week for Thanksgiving?
No, our kids, our eldest son, and then our youngest son will come over come up and over on Saturday. We have one that lives close to us, and then the other kids live down near Pittsburgh. But right now, we're not going very far. And I hope next week things will be taken care on my laptop and I'll actually be on YouTube a little bit more like I was in the past.
Well, that'd be
Right
cool.
now it's
nice.
Right now I'm only using the phone, and it's an older phone, so I don't really have capabilities to doing much.
I hear you. I've gone live many times on my phone.
Yeah.
I used to use, so this is StreamYard. It was Streamlab. Before we had StreamYard, we had Streamlab. Yeah. Mom said high of 56 and low of 32.
Yeah, that's pretty typical.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like that too, Mom.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I just know spring is on the way.
Got one more season to go first, Adam.
Say what?
I said we got one more season to go first.
I know. And we haven't even reached winter yet.
Mm-mm.
It's coming up soon, though.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Joe says, have to run. Hey, good to see you, Joe. Thanks for stopping by. I hear you. Very cool. Well, I just wanted to come in for a little while and say hey to everybody and see what's shaking and cool things like that. Oh, yeah. So there we go.
You two people.
Oh.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. It's okay.
Adam, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out as well and spin a few more of these records and
all right, what's the first one you're gonna play, Sean?
Next one I'm gonna play. Oh, let's see. Let me look through the stack here. I got
Are you
a
still
couple of
guessing?
them to run that. You know what I might do, only because I've never heard it before in my life? Woodstock 2. I have heard people say that this is every bit as good as the first one, but I don't know. I've never heard it before in my life, but this is a mega clean copy, so.
I hear you. I hear you.
My wife heard me talking in the study here, and I think she got worried. She's like,
Uh-oh.
"Who are you talking to?"
Who are you talking to? Yeah. Well, that's cool, Sean. That's a long listen. Is that the one that has Jimi Hendrix on it?
Yep, it is.
Very
Yep, Hendrix is on this. Joan Baez, the Butterfield Blues Band, Canned Heat, CSNY, Jefferson Airplane, Melanie, Mountain. Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff on there.
Very cool. I like watching the movie. I like watching the movie. I would love to see the Grateful Dead performance, but I don't think that's going to ever happen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they were always weird about that. They never let their performance. I don't know if maybe they weren't happy with it, or if they just want to release it themselves and make all the money for themselves. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Great, Sean. Hope you enjoy Woodstock too. Dan,
Yeah.
thanks for hanging out with us. Good to see you. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the night. And as we go into the weekend and get ready for next week and cool things like that. But hey, thanks for coming hanging out with me, folks. I'm going to hang out with that little girl over there, and we're going to make it happen for a little while before I take off. So
All right,
here we go.
Adam, I'll come in the shop. I'll see you Friday.
Sounds like a plan. Good night, everybody.
All right, see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.